Hi everybody, this is Joanne talking, and my son Joel is going to tell you about the book of Romans and Paul and Christianity.
So, Jesus died on the cross, and when he died on the cross, he died for everyone's sins. To be honest, I actually don't really know much about the history of this guy named Paul, but I do know that a lot of the stuff that Jesus taught was not exactly the same as Paul. Paul is kind of like probably where a lot of the traditions come from, a lot of their morals, a lot of the reason that Christians, for instance, that Christians don't believe in gay marriage, or that they don't believe they really are pure, or that they won't take the vaccine, or whatever conservative type we consider it conservative, is usually because it's most of the lessons are from this guy named Paul, which I believe he was he a priest, or was he what was he?
He was an evangelist.
So a lot of his lessons, Jesus, one of the funny things about Christianity I notice is that Jesus taught a lot of things, but no one really listened to his actual, like what he actually said. They kind of were just like, after he died on the cross, he's just this figure. He's kind of used. He's not really looked at by Christians as a way like they actually follow him. You got to realize that he was a Jew. He never wasn't a Jew. Like, it was like, for some reason, I don't know why this happened in Christianity, but they really, they changed it where, all of a sudden we're not Jews anymore. Even though this religion was kind of founded by a Jew. Like, the person that is worshipped in it is Jewish and still would probably be considered Jewish. I don't think he ever was like, I'm not Jewish. I believe that I'm the Messiah, but that doesn't mean that I'm not Jewish. So, very strange and interesting to me that Christianity became this other religion, and where they're villainizing Jews or vilifying Jews or whatever, because this religion would not exist if it wasn't for Judaism, and even for the whatever happened in the story, with the Pharisees and whatever happened with the story of Jesus. We also have to think about the thing about Rome in this context of Rome. Rome at the time had many rebellions, many rebellions, the Jewish rebellions, and the real reason that a lot of time Christians blame Jews for his death, and it's possible to see that, to say, oh yeah, the Jews kind of were responsible because they kind of like gave away where he was and what he was doing to the Romans, but the Romans had continuously been used to putting down rebellions. So you got to realize, when you're maintaining an empire, there's rebellions, and the Jews were probably looked at as unstable, so they would a lot of the time look at them like, hey, this is just another group of people and we're going to crucify the leader because he's rebelling against us. Not because, oh, he's Jewish, or it's because we don't want another war, we don't want another rebellion, so we're just going to kill the leader. That's really what it was. He was just another leader. He wasn't anything special, in my opinion.
Why did they they got mad at Jesus, but they also got mad at Paul? Because
they were talking against the Roman Empire. Because the Roman Empire had many rebellions, Jewish rebellions from the religion, where they were constantly fighting with them, and they wanted, and they felt like a more peaceful way was to just kill the leader, crucify the leader, put him as an example. It happened a lot. There was lots of people who were crucified.
But why did Christianity get to be so big then?
Because the belief in the stories of him healing people, because of the beliefs, because of the resurrection, which resurrection is a big theme. Resurrection is one of the biggest themes, and it's one of the big stories. Also, the way he was born. He's a character. Jesus is really an idea. I don't know if this person actually existed, or we can't really look at it as like there's 100% evidence that any of it is even true, but it is a interesting way of thinking. Some of the ways that Christians look at the world is a very good way of thinking, because they think they talk about being, loving your neighbor and all these things, but there's some issues with it, because the concept of sin is silly, in my opinion, because the concept is very much focused on the fact that you have a God that created a world and just for some reason made all the humans like bad, and then was like, why are you being bad? You know? So I don't know. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't really make sense to me. But that's why they have to have people being bad, because then they wouldn't have the reason for these rules. And the whole point of Paul is that Paul is one of the main people that really makes their, the way that they think is, and their morally is through this one prophet. I think it was a prophet, right?
No, I don't think he was a prophet.
No, he wasn't a prophet, okay.
But anyway, why don't we turn it off and say goodbye to the audience, and we'll make another one.
We'll probably make another one anyway.